And we have new information tonight about the deadly terror attack that left 8 people dead and a dozen others wounded in New York. Police say Sayfullo Saipov had planned this for months and did it in the name of ISIS.
Within the last hour, federal prosecutors filed terrorism charges against him. Saipov is accused of driving a rental truck down a busy bike path, plowing into everyone and everything in his path.
We also have learned that police are looking for a person of interest in connection with the attack. And Fox 5 anchor Tom Haynes joins us in the newsroom with more. Tom?
Well, Russ and Sine, as you're speaking, we're monitoring an FBI news conference in New York right now where authorities are laying out this case against Saipov, saying that they have interrogated him. Remember, they shot him and he's injured in the hospital. They interrogated him and he all but admitted to this elaborate plot and planning of this attack that he admittedly carried out yesterday. Within the last 30 minutes also, police have identified the man, and they've released an FBI wanted poster in hopes of tracking him down. They're looking for this person. He's a 32-year-old from Uzbekistan. Now, this is apart from Saipov. They've not said exactly how he's connected to the attack, only that he's wanted for questioning. As for the suspect, investigators, as I said, interviewed him today after he got out of surgery. They're not saying much beyond what they just mentioned about the attack and what he's saying.
What happened yesterday was not okay. It will never be something any of us will just accept as inevitable.
Investigators learning all they can about Sayfullo Saipov, accused of renting a truck in New Jersey Tuesday and driving it down a popular New York City bike trail for nearly half a mile, running into people, killing 8 and injuring a dozen others.
He appears to have followed almost exactly to a T the instructions that ISIS has put out in its social media channels before, with instructions to their followers on how to carry out such an attack.
Police say they've interviewed Saipov, who's in the hospital after police shot him, ending his rampage. According to several reports, the suspect bragged about the attack, but officials won't confirm that.
This investigation is still in its infancy. We do not yet have all the answers.
New York's governor says Saipov was radicalized in the U.S.
I believe we would consider this person to be an enemy combatant.
Saipov had recently been living in Paterson, New Jersey, about 25 miles from the scene. Members of a mosque there are condemning the attack.
Allegedly, he came to this mosque, but nobody here is familiar with this gentleman.
Investigators say the suspect had not been the subject of any previous investigations, but say it appears he has connections to individuals previously investigated by police.
All of America is praying and grieving for the families, and we pledge to renew our resolve and to further investigate this animal who did the attacking.
All right, so FBI authorities monitoring this news conference happening now, urging people up in New York who may have known Saipov to come forward with any information that they may have, as they also look for this second suspect in this attack. Now, just days before the attack, ISIS had encouraged its followers to carry out Halloween attacks. As you know, yesterday was Halloween, and it was the worst terror attack in New York since September the 11th. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you any new information as soon as it becomes available. Russ?
All right, Tom, thanks. Now, yesterday's attack has reignited the debate over immigration in the U.S. The suspect was able to get into the United States from Uzbekistan legally through the diversity visa lottery. Under that program, the State Department offers 50,000 visas to immigrants from areas with relatively low immigration rates. Now, President Trump today made it clear that he wants to scrap that and move toward what he calls more extreme vetting.
We have to get much tougher, we have to get much smarter, and we have to get much less politically correct.
Now, it's unclear whether or when lawmakers will take up the president's request to end that program. Many Democrats have argued against this, saying it would encourage illegal immigration by closing a popular pathway for legal immigrants.
Flags at Atlanta City Hall are flying at half-staff today in honor of the victims of the attack in New York City. Mayor Kasim Reed says that he's directed Atlanta police to heighten security at all public events and popular public places over the next several days. This afternoon, Governor Nathan Deal urged Georgians to remain vigilant.
We have to be cautious. We have to be sure that if we see something, we say something. And I think we've all been a little hesitant to do that because we don't want somebody saying we reported something that had no factual validity to it. But there are signs, and I think the more we all become familiar with these kinds of cases, the more we will be more attentive to looking for those kind of indications before something really bad happens.
Well, coming up in our next half hour, we're going to head to New York for a live report and for more on the investigation. And as always, you can find the latest updates online at fox5atlanta.com.